What's going on, guys? Well, I think it's time for a story time video. I got some stories to tell. I did the last couple days. But also, as you can see in the title, I bought a new handgun. So, no further ado, here's the new handgun I got. That's right, another Glock. Why? I'm a Glock guy. You know, they work. I've had one for a long time. I've had multiple Glocks, actually. Started out with Glock 17, Gen 3. Loved it, made it into the ninja gun that it was. I basically added everything I possibly could get to it. Every single aftermarket piece was on my Glock 17. I've gone through multiple different setups with it, and then in the end, I brought it back to its most simplest form, which was probably the best form, you know, just how it came, brand new. And then eventually sold it. I missed it, wanted a new Glock, got the Glock 36. My thought process on getting the Glock 36 is I wanted the largest caliber, which is a 45 ACP. Maybe not the most powerful caliber, maybe the 10 millimeters, considered a little bit more powerful. But I was happy with the 45, but I really wanted the smallest package they had. So the Glock 36 is the smallest 45 ACP Glock that there was, and it was at the time the only single stack Glock. But it held 6 rounds, 6+1, and of course I was always a little concerned about the lack of capacity there. And in recent days, and obviously all the news of what's going on, and we live in a crazy world, you just never know. That's why I carry a gun. I started thinking more and more and more about, the size of the caliber versus the capacity. And that's been the ultimate argument in the gun community for who knows how long. 9mm versus 45 ACP. And then you get a bunch of people that say, have the best of both worlds and get yourself a 40 Smith & Wesson, more powerful than a 9, more capacity than a 45, and so forth. And, there's no really right or wrong answer. There's preference. Some people like less, more powerful rounds. Some people like a hell of a lot of smaller rounds, But my thought process these days really is I'm focusing a little bit more on capacity. Okay, so that being said, the Glock that I got was a Gen 3 Glock 19. Okay, that's what I ultimately settled with. So, for all the people out there worried that I'm playing with a loaded gun, I can assure you it is not loaded. Although you really shouldn't play with any guns, loaded or not. So leave that there, let you look at that for a minute. And let's talk about this a little bit. I got this on Black Friday, and I got a hell of a deal, but it really had nothing to do with Black Friday. And I'll talk more about that later when I get into the story of when I got the gun. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Black Friday in general. I promised myself I wouldn't do Black Friday this year. I think commercialism sucks. I think it sucks that, people get suckered into trying to save a dollar. And there's a lot of people that say the same thing. You go on Black Friday, it's a bunch of rude people, knocking each other over for cheap stuff. And that's not what life's about. Life's not about stuff. And ironically, you have Thanksgiving, which is supposed to be a day of thankfulness. It's a day to appreciate everything you have. You enjoy the company of your family and your friends and your loved ones. And then the next day is when you beat the hell out of someone for a cheap 50-inch Chinese television. So it's kind of like the calm before the storm. But with commercialism the way it is, and they keep pushing back the holidays because they want more and more money. It's all about money, of course. Now they're getting into the holiday, So last year it was a big deal. Black Friday sales started instead of Friday, hence Black Friday. It started Thanksgiving night. What the hell is that? That's not Black Friday. I called it Dirty Thursday because that's what it was. It was the sales starting on Thanksgiving. Ridiculous. This year, of course, I kind of saw this coming. They not only had it on Thanksgiving, but not Thanksgiving night. They bumped it up until like 1 o'clock. So now you're cutting into people's actual holiday when they're supposed to be sitting with family, having their dinners. So everyone eats early, then they go out on Thanksgiving. It's a big bum rush. And then you go Friday, and then Friday it's like nothing. Everyone already got their huge sales Thursday night or Thursday afternoon or whatever. So to me, it's kind of ridiculous, and I was trying to boycott it. But what happened was Thanksgiving came, and before Thanksgiving, my plans had changed. I knew I wasn't going to be able to see my family or my in-laws, so it was just me and my wife. My wife happened to have to work, which sucks, but what are you going to do? Sometimes you just can't call out, and that was the situation here. Very low staffed, couldn't call out. So I'm like, damn. So me and Gus chilled, had our food together. My wife got home, gave a plate to her, obviously had some left. Actually, I brought her food when it was done to work, which she appreciated, and fed her and her, her coworker. And then I came home, had my food with Gus and everything. And then when she got home, we had a little bit of leftovers together. And we're looking at each other thinking, what the hell? Let's do Black Friday. Let's go see what kind of deals they have because we're late with our Christmas shopping this year. I'm usually pretty good, and I have that crap done way before even December starts. But this year, things happened, and yeah, we still got Christmas shopping to do. So we kind of talked about it for a second. I'm like, what the hell? Let's just go do it. So I armed myself to the teeth because I don't know what to prepare myself for. I actually took 3 guns with me, 2 spare magazines, and a partridge in a pear tree. No, actually, I did literally take 3 guns. I had 2 knives on me, 2 flashlights. My wife, I had her have a neck knife and all this crap because I'm thinking I'm going into some kind of a riot. And I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I want to be prepared. In the back of my mind, I'm also thinking, what a day for a terrorist attack, you know? Or some kind of active shooter or whatever. So I'm really trying to prepare for the worst. So I get there and I was pleasantly surprised. It really wasn't that busy. I don't know if people started boycotting things. I got there probably 11 o'clock, 11:30, something like that at night. So my assumption is that the big crowds probably came when the sales first started around 1 p.m. or so. So maybe I just missed the big bum rush of idiots. Well, I shouldn't call them idiots because I was in the group with them. You know, I was there shopping too, so whatever. So we get there and I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But it was a nice surprise. I mean, there was not a lot of people there. It was about as busy as it was on like a Saturday afternoon. That's all. So it was a little weird that it was nighttime and it was really busy because usually when I go there, there's like, 15 cars in the parking lot, and this time the parking lot was still filled. So yeah, it was quote unquote busy, but it wasn't like Black Friday busy. Of course, you go in the store and every other cart has 2 or 3 50-inch TVs in it. I don't know why people obsess over these things. Do people not know that these are like specifically bought for Black Friday? They don't have their regular decent stock there that they're discounting. They don't do that. If you don't know, they obviously prepare for these sales and they order special no-name brand TVs and they buy them by the truckloads. I mean, thousands and thousands at a time. Each store has pallets and pallets and pallets of these things, and they roll them out and people they get fixated on these numbers. Oh, it's a 50-inch. Wow, a 50-inch for, I think it was, I don't know, $289 or something. That's unheard of. Yeah, because it's a piece of crap. You know, if you go to a restaurant and you get an $8 cheeseburger, and like they have a big sale where they have their dollar cheeseburger Mondays, and you go there, chances are it's not going to be the same cheeseburgers. It'll be some little piece of crap, right? So why don't people realize this? I don't know. I mean, I understand it's kind of exciting. Oh, I'm getting a great deal on a big TV, but you have to, the core of you has to realize that it's a lesser quality TV. They're not giving away stuff for free. They're making money. So they buy super, super cheap TVs, and then they sell them super cheap, and they're still making a buttload of money, and you get this huge TV that lasts a year, maybe, if you're lucky. So instead of buying, the Black Friday TV every single year, because I think that's why so many people buy TVs, because their last year's Black Friday TV is dead by now. I think that's what happens. But anyway, I'm not going to judge other people. You know what? If you're going to be materialistic and want to do that so your friends come over and see your massive cheap TV, so be it. Whatever. I don't control what people do. I understand why they're doing it. I don't agree with it, but I shouldn't really judge them because no one's a perfect person, But anyway, so that's what they're doing. They're buying all kinds of junk. Super cheap electronics. And that's what they are. They're super cheap. The quality isn't there. If you're not getting a massive deal, if it's worth $1,000, you're not going to get it for $200. It's just, life doesn't work that way. People should realize that. Anyway, I'm not going to keep ranting about that kind of crap. You know the deal with that. I feel like my viewers are very intelligent people, so I don't even know why I explained all that. It's probably something you already know. So anyway, so we're there, and my goal was really to pick up a couple knick-knacky type things for Christmas gifts, as well as, actual stuff that I need in life, like socks. I love the Dickies brand Black Friday socks. I mean, they sell them all year round or whatever, but you get them for like $4, I don't know, 6 or 8 pairs or something. They're awesome boot socks. I wear boots all winter, so I get a couple packs of those, on Black Friday, and that was a fun little thing for me that got me excited. Of course, I saw the Walmart knife I wanted to get, so I filmed that. I picked up that cheap little $4 knife. I was suckered into a dash cam. That same little island that I showed you in the knife video had the trail cam and the knives and the tools and stuff like that. On the other side, I happened to notice that there was, and this was after I filmed and everything, but they had a dashboard cam for the car for like $30. And I'm like, I know it's a like crappy camera, but all right, fine. So I got that for $30. My idea is that when I'm not filming for YouTube stuff, I just have it running just in case for insurance purposes. You know, someone runs into you, at least you have some video proof that you weren't at fault for the accident. That alone is worth 30 bucks. That's fine. But I also figured that the screen kind of rotates around, so I'm hoping that I didn't try using it yet, but I'm hoping that I can swing it around and use it as a hands-free filming option for when I'm in the car. So maybe I can do some vlogs and do some videos for you guys when I'm driving places. That's always fun. You know, I'm sitting there anyway doing nothing. Might as well turn the camera on and talk a little bit so you guys can hear about, you know, I don't know, more of my life or what's going on or, you know, whatever. So we'll see how that works out in the future. Besides that, I'm trying to think what else I got. The DVD section, I actually do still buy DVDs. I know a lot of people just stream everything. I'm weird. I like CDs. I like DVDs. I know they don't last forever. They deteriorate and they get scratched and don't work and stuff. But I'm a sucker for Christmas movies and stuff, so I got a cheap, I think it was $2 or something, had a bunch of old Christmas movies on it, one of those things. I got Friday, you know, Ice Cube. I have Friday too, but I didn't have Friday, so it was $1.96. I thought, what the hell? So I got Friday on DVD. And I think it's The Wolfman for $2. Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro. Awesome movie. So anyway, so I got a couple DVDs, some chintzy little things here and there. My wife got a scarf and I think a t-shirt, Christmas t-shirt or something. So we weren't like going there for these big deals or anything. We kind of got bored because of our Thanksgiving the way it was. And we ended up at Walmart for Thanksgiving. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Now, the next day, my wife's been dealing with some dental problems. She had a cavity that she was going to get fixed, and you know, time keeps going by, and all of a sudden it's hurting her, and it's like, okay, you'll deal with the pain, pop an Advil or something, and then eventually got to the point where this really friggin' hurts. I got to go to the dentist. So we made like kind of an emergency appointment for Friday. So it was Black Friday morning at 8:00 a.m. So we get to the dentist's office. I drop her off. I talk to the dental assistant or dental technician, I guess. And I love the dentists that I go to. They're awesome. They got the little earpieces in there, super professional. They're more expensive, but I found that their work is actually top notch. You know what I mean? Like I've dealt personally with dentists that gave you really shoddy work. I'd rather pay a little bit more and just get quality. And that's for everything across the board in life. You know what I mean? From mechanics, car mechanics, to food, to dentistry. You know, if you feel like you're going to get a superior product, yeah, it's worth spending just a little bit more, you know, saving up for it and doing it the right way as opposed to going cheap. You don't necessarily want to go to a discount dentist. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're saving a bunch of money, but what kind of work are you getting, you know? So anyway, I've been to this dentist before. I recommended it to her because she's never been a dentist up in here in PA since we've lived here. She's got cleanings done, but she never had to get any, like, you know, actual work done. So anyway, so I dropped her off. I talked to the technician. She's like, well, we're really busy today and everything, so because they kind of squeezed us in for the appointment. She said, you might have to wait like maybe an hour or so. They took her in the room right away and accommodated her and everything, but she told me, she's like, when everything's said and done, it'll be about 2 hours or so. So I'm thinking, I don't want to sit in the waiting room for 2 hours. They had some crappy music playing, and I don't know, it was early. I was still waking up myself, and I just didn't want to sit there. So I told her, I said, look, do your thing. I'll come pick you up when you're done. And I ended up walking to the gas station next door, trying to kill time there, and you can't really kill a lot of time in a gas station, you know what I mean? Just kind of standing around. I wasn't buying anything. Just kind of loitering at the gas station. Felt like, a little weird about it. So I knew that there was a gun shop down the road, not too far away. So I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I'll just go take a look. You know how that works out, right? Yeah, I'm just going to go look. I'm not going to buy anything today. Just going to go browse. But seriously, you guys heard me talk about it before. I was looking and I was interested in getting a new gun. So I figured, you know what? I'll go down to the gun shop. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to get a couple different pistols in my hand, see how things feel. I narrowed down my selection to either getting a Glock 19 or a Glock 26. I wanted to go back to a 9mm. I started out with the Glock 17. I loved it, but I figured I wanted something a little bit smaller, okay, a little bit more compact for carry purposes, for weight issues, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking the Glock 19 might be a good thing to try out, but I wanted to get one in hand because I don't think I've ever shot a Glock 19 before this one. I've handled a bunch of different models, the 23, the 22, the 17. I mean, the 26 I did shoot before. It wasn't mine. It was a friend's. But then I kind of remember the 26 as being a little bit too small, the grip. So I figured, you know what, go to the gun shop and get a bunch in my hand, get a feel for it, plus price things out. You know, I haven't bought a gun in a while, so let me see what the prices are about. With politics and everything happening, obviously the prices change on stuff, so might not have been what I remembered. So in my mind, this is a great idea. So I get down to the gun shop. It's not too far away, and I walk in there, and it's packed. It's packed at like 20 after 8 in the morning. So it's also a tackle shop. It's not just a gun shop. It's mostly like an outdoor fisherman's shop that happens to have guns in the front, which gets the vast majority of the money for the shop. Trust me, no one's going in there buying lures. They're buying guns left and right. So anyway, I've used this gun shop before many times in the past, and I'm very happy with the prices, happy with the customer service, happy with the owner, the whole thing. So I get there, I'm looking around, I'm looking in their used gun case. I figure maybe I'll get a used one. I'm not really, I'm not one of those people that have to get something that's new. If it's in good condition and I can save some money, I'll buy something used. I don't care. Everything but, condoms and socks, or underwear, I suppose. But yeah, if it's used and I can get a deal and it's in decent condition, why not? So I'm looking at the case, and there's a Glock 23. Again, I know I'm not going that route, so I just pass it up. I look in the new case, and there's a Glock 19, a Glock 26 in both Gen 3 and Gen 4. So there's 4 guns sitting next to each other. 2 Gen 3 19s, 2 Gen 4 26s. So first thing I do is I try the Gen 4s because I haven't tried any yet. Just didn't like them. It just I don't know. I didn't like them. All the Glocks I've used and loved have been Gen 3s, so I immediately gravitated back towards the Gen 3s. I tried the 19 first. It was this exact gun I picked up. I handled it. I loved it. It fit my hand great. 15 round capacity, 15 plus 1, 9mm. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I tried the 26, and I'm like, I don't know. It had the regular standard flat bottom magazine in there. And I'm like, it just doesn't fit me. It's not big enough. So the guy's like, well, we do sell the +2 base plate, option. So, and he was really cool about it. He's like, let me take it at the mag out and pop the base plate on there and see what you think. So he opened the package, did everything, got it all set for me. So I had the Glock 26 there, and he put with the +2 base plate, the extension, whatever, and I'm gripping it, I'm holding it. I'm like, you know what? I just don't like it as much as the 19. So I'm like, you know what? I love the 19. I'll probably get that one next time. And he's like, next time? What do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm kind of shopping today, and I want to get an idea what I want to come back later. I said I wasn't planning on buying anything. I'm trying to be a good consumer and, look at stuff and plan before I make a decision, So he kind of laughed. He's like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine. And I told him, I'm like, plus my wife's at the dentist. I'm just killing some time right now. And to be honest, she'd kill me if I just went and bought a gun, because I talk about everything with my wife. When I make a financial decision on something, she's right there with me. It's important, in my world, to be 100%, on the same page with finances. Okay, a lot of relationships, fighting is most time over money. It stems from money issues. So if you have a good, honest relationship with your partner, and you know what's going, who's spending what on what, and you make those decisions together. Just a little bit of advice from being a married guy now. Everything runs nice and smooth. So I didn't tell her I'm going to buy a gun. So I don't want to just, surprise her. Hey, guess what? Just spend, a couple $100. So anyway, so I'm explaining this, and the guy says to me, he says, you know the saying, right? I'm like, what saying? And I laugh because I have heard this before. I haven't heard it in a long time, but the saying goes, this, for married men, it's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission, and that couldn't be any more true. But I'm not a jerk off, so I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't just do what I want and then hope she's cool with it and then try to get forgiveness later. But I thought that was pretty funny. He said that, so I kind of laughed. I'm like, yeah. So anyway, then the owner came over, because I'm talking to one of the sales guys or whatever at the counter, and then the owner came over, who I know, and he recognized me. He's like, yeah, you bought guns from us before. I appreciate your business and everything. He's like, what were you interested in? And I said, well, I'm looking at the Glock 19, but I wasn't planning on buying it today. He's like, what would it take for you to buy it today? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, give me a number. And without thinking, I said, well, $100 off would be nice. And he put his hand out and shook my hand. Deal. I'm like, what? $100, like, you serious? $100 off the price? Brand new Glock 19 Gen 3? Okay, deal. I'm like, how am I going to pass that up, right? So I'm talking to him, like, well, how can you drop $100 off the price tag? What are you buying these for? He's like, to be honest, I'm selling to you at cost. I only make about $100 on handgun sales. I'm like, well, why are you doing that? Just because Because I'm curious at this point. I really want to know. Is it just because I come in here, give you a lot of business? He's like, well, yeah, that, but mostly, he's told me since the Paris attack, he's been selling like 10 times as many handguns as he ever has in the history. Even, you know, when Obama was elected, when Obama was reelected, you know, obviously there's been a big bum rush of people buying guns that are scared and worried they won't be able to buy them in the future, whatever. But he said it's never been this busy since the terrorist attack in Paris. He said off the charts. He's making so many sales. He can't keep anything in stock. So he just gave me the hookup. So I couldn't deny it. I had to take it. So yeah, I got $100 off his asking price for a brand new Glock 19. So I was a little hesitant. All right, fine. I got to do it. It's a one-time deal here. So I bought it, did the paperwork. Again, in Pennsylvania, it takes all of like 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. I can walk in, 10 minutes later, walk out with a gun. And they say, well, here's the paper. Have you ever filled it? Yeah, I filled it out. Okay, don't answer this one, because I love these guys. They're awesome. They're all over, you know, what it is. So I fill the paperwork out. While I'm filling it out, he's doing the background check. Yep, of course, I'm cool. I walk out. Now I'm in the parking lot, and I go to my car. I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot, and of course, first thing I want to do is open it up and check out the gun. What I forgot to tell you is that after I looked at the gun, he put this one back in the case, and then he went to go get one from the back room. Okay, so he has a new case here, and big mistake, I did not inspect the gun. So I got the case, I'm in the thing, I open it up, I look at it, because it's a different gun. So I take the gun out, and right here on the slide is a bunch of scratches, like it looked like brass colored. I'm like, what the hell? So I tried rubbing it off, you know, I licked my finger, rubbing it, nothing. It's in there, it's scratched. I'm like, oh my God, bought a brand new, even with $100, I'm thinking in the back of my head, did you give me $100 off because it scratched the shit? So I go back in there, and I'm kind of pissed off, but I'm keeping my cool, and I open the package, I didn't even say anything, I just open the pistol case up, and I point to it, I'm like, what's this? It's all scratched up. And the guy really had no idea. He's like, oh my God, he's like, I'm so sorry about that. Called the owner over, the owner's looking at it, he's like, damn, you know what it is? He's like, it's a damn cleaning heads. Glock gives you these cleaning heads, and I don't know if you could tell, but there's a little spot here. It's supposed to be clipped in. And he's like, one out of like every 50 Glocks that he gets, every now and again, this thing comes loose in the package. And of course, this is a brass fitting on the bottom here. So I guess in shipping, it's rubbing all over the gun, all over the slide and stuff. So he's like, I'll bet you that's what happened there. He's like, look, obviously you just bought the gun here. I know it wasn't you or anything. So he basically only had the one that was in the case there, which was still brand new. He's like, go ahead and inspect it again. I inspected it. Everything was fine. It was just like the gun that was in the case. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it, because he didn't have any other ones in stock. So he swapped it. It was a big pain in the butt, because now he had to do all the paperwork over to do the new serial number, because obviously it's a different gun. Even though it's the same gun, it's not the same gun. So I had to stay there for another like 15 minutes doing paperwork and stuff. But yeah, besides that though, I grabbed the new gun. I walked out. I was happier than crap. And even threw in a 33 round mag. Now, this was a 33 round mag. Glock comes with two magazines. So in this case, because it's Glock 19, I had two 15 round mags. They both had the regular, flat base plate on it. This one was a 33 round mag because it has a +2 base plate, but I swapped the base plates on the 15 round and the 33. So now, if this became 17, this became just the 31. I figured, if you got a big ass mag like this, what's the difference between 31 rounds and 33? So I figured when I'm EDCing this gun, I will carry the spare mag, but it'll be a 17 round mag. Okay, I do have some regular Glock 17 mags with +2 base plates on them, which I can use in the 19. They'll stick out a little bit more, but those will be 19 round mags. And I might even EDC this thing. Why not, right? We'll see. But yeah, so that's the story on getting the Black Friday gun. So I got an awesome Black Friday deal, but it wasn't because of the day. It just happened to be because he was in good mood, recognized me, and he's making money left and right with the gun shop there. So yeah, I was very happy. Eventually my wife came out, I picked her up. It took way longer than 2 hours. It was like 3 or 4 hours. I went back there, waited a bunch of, in the waiting room, listened to Christmas music and stuff, and watching people come and go. She finally came out, and her mouth was all numb because they shot her up with Novocaine to do the root canal, and she got a filling or a cap or something, I forget. So she's all numb, and I'm trying to tell her, hey, I bought a gun. I hope you're okay with it. He gave me a screaming deal. I was just looking at him, and she was cool. She's like, you bought a gun? She's like, all right, fine. So she was cool with it. And I got her laughing because she couldn't talk because her mouth was all numb, So she's like kind of half drooling, and I can't understand what she's saying. So I got her laughing pretty good, and that kind of smoothed things over. So she was cool with the impulse buy there. But yeah, it was a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. $100 off. So yeah, now I have a new firearm. This will be my carry gun eventually. Can't do it yet. There's a couple things I want to do to it. Although there's nothing wrong with the stock sights on this, I do want to get some new sights. I think I'm definitely going to go with the XS big dot sights. I was thinking night. I mean, obviously, I think they make a night sight version of that, like a tritium version of it. But I don't think that's even necessary. I was really thinking about it the other day. I have night sights on my Glock 36, but there's very, very few situations where that's going to be beneficial to me. I mean? I don't go out at night very often as it is. So, but hey, you know what? You never know. The whole idea of carrying a gun is you just never know. So why not spend a couple extra bucks and do that? So you have that option. But yeah, I obviously have to get a new holster for it. As far as things to do to it, I like Glocks how they are stock. You know what I mean? The takedown lever here, I might get the extended version of that just because I like it a little bit more. But I don't really need the extended, all the different parts, the mag release and all that. It's just, to me, it's not that necessary. We'll see, you know what I mean? When you get a new gun, you tend to want to do stuff to it just to make it special, or more comfortable, or whatever the situation is, more convenient. But I like Glocks. Right out of the box, they're good guns, So I got to get this, get some lead down range, as they say, and break it in a little bit. Not that they really need to be broken in, but of course I just want to shoot it. The other mindset I had too is that this is about the same size as the Glock 36. This one is not scalped, like the front of the Glock 36 is kind of scalped on the corners here or cut away. I think all the ultra compact ones or subcompact Glock models have that, I'm pretty sure, which would be like what, the 26, 27, things like that. I think they'll all have that feature. But the slide is about the same length, about the same width. I think the Glock 19 is just a little bit longer in the handle. But what I'm essentially doing is I'm trading the Glock 36, which has 6 + 1 45 ACP rounds, as opposed to 9mm, which is 15 + 1. So I'm getting more than double the capacity here in the gun, ready to go. So yeah, it's a downgrade in the caliber size, but a huge upgrade in the capacity of rounds. And that's where I'm more focused on having more smaller rounds as opposed to less big rounds. And some people might argue and say that's not a good idea, or it is a good idea, or some people might say, hey, why don't you just get a Glock 30? I'd love to have all the Glocks, to be honest. It is what it is. It's just my preference. You know what I mean? The Glock 30 is a great gun, and it has more capacity of the bigger rounds. But it's heavier, it's chunkier, it's bigger, So ultimately, it really just does come down to personal preference. There's many different variations on the Glock pistol. I think they're all good. It's just what you prefer. I prefer 15 + 1 on a Glock 19. And for me, as you guys know, if you watch for a long time, it's just 15. It's not +1 because I carry condition 3. So 15 rounds, 9mm, ready to go for me. Makes me feel very comfortable. It's going to be the same package overall as far as size. I'm very used to carrying the Glock 36, so I'm not worried about it being heavier or more cumbersome or anything like that. Totally fine. And I might even EDC this 31 round mag. So we'll see, but I, again, got to get a holster for it, and I do want to change out those sights before I start carrying it. But, of course, you guys will definitely see a shooting video. The other thing about going from a 45 down to a 9 is it's going to be better for follow-up shots, too. When I shoot the 45, the Glock 36, it's a great gun, and I'm used to it, and I have pretty decent follow-up shots, but it's snappy. It's a powerful round, packs a big punch, and it is a little snappier of a gun than the 9. So the 9mm for me, I think, is going to be a more controllable gun. So my follow-up shots will be much more accurate, and the capacity was the biggest deal for me. So those are some of the reasons why I ended up choosing this gun over the other ones. And again, it just fit my hand way better than the Glock 26. So there you go. So that is my new firearm. Eventually, my new EDC gun. But for now, I just want to tell you guys those stories. Black Friday. It's really not all it's cracked up to be. It's not worth it, the hassle you have to go through most of the time. In my particular situation, both Thursday night as well as all day Friday, it just so happened to be a regular day. I didn't have these big crowds, people punching each other over the TVs. You know what I mean? There was plenty of stuff to go around. Walmart stocked way more than I guess they anticipated selling. Because like everyone who wanted to get their cheap ass 50-inch TV, actually they also had another deal too. It was I think a 70-inch. Oh, I don't remember the brand, but it was under $1,000 for a 70-inch TV. And you think like, yeah, that's awesome, but there's a lot to consider. What is the quality of the TV? You know, I can't even think of what brand it was offhand. I want to say though that it was more of a name brand than whatever the 50-inch ones were. And then of course they had like ridiculous deals on even the smaller TVs too. Well, I don't know, $95 on whatever it happened to be, a 32-inch or whatever. So, I mean, if you're throwing a cheap TV in your kid's room or something, yeah, that's a good deal. But if it's like your main TV that your family watches every day, you're turning it on and off all day long, you buy one of those cheap Black Friday TVs, man, they're just not going to last. I mean, that's fine as long as you get another one every year you go. So, just my opinion. But hey, let me know. If you guys bought a black TV, did you buy a black TV anytime soon? If you ever bought a Black Friday TV, one of those screaming deals that everyone wants, how do they hold up? Is it really lasting, years and years for you? Are you very happy with the quality of it? I just have this idea that it's not all it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean? If you're stuck on a number and you just want a massive TV in your living room, then I guess that works for you. That's fine. The projector that I showed you guys that I was trying out, I don't have a great setup to have the screen there, but if you happen to have a house that has a nice big blank wall or something, the projector will cost you half and be 100 times better. I'm extremely satisfied with that projector. You'll see a video on that again in the future as we have more and more use on it, me and my wife, but unfortunately my setup in the house, I don't have like a good wall for it, so I got to use a screen, which makes my situation a lot more. So I don't use it all the time. I still watch my TV sometimes. But again, that's only for like Netflix or if I'm playing PS3 or something. And for people who are wondering, I don't play PS3 all that often. I love GTA 5. I love it. That's the only game I play on my PS3. I don't play it that often, but when I do, I play for like 6 hours straight because I get hooked on it. But for the most part, I'm just trying to get some cool cars and modify them. That's basically what I play GTA for. Drive around like a normal person, then when someone pisses me off, I run over them, and then I start speeding around like a maniac. It's a fun stress reliever because I can't do that in real life, so I do it on video games. So yeah, that's my story time video. So I got the new gun. I'm very happy about it. It was an impulse buy, and it's just not good to do that, but it was a good deal, and eventually I'll pay it off because technically my credit card company bought this for me until I pay them back. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope your holiday season was awesome. Obviously, we have Christmas ahead and many other things in the future. I feel like time's flying by. I don't even have my tree up or any decorations because my wife hasn't been feeling good. Oh, that's the other thing. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot. We're at Walmart on Friday. No, it was Thursday night. It was Thanksgiving night. And I was looking at all the Christmas t-shirts, and my wife came over and she just barely touched the t-shirt thing, and it pushed all the t-shirts back and actually knocked the fire extinguisher. Fire hydrant's not on the wall. The fire extinguisher's on the wall. It fell off the wall at head height or whatever and landed right on her toe, and it messed up her toe. Okay, at first the woman ran over because she saw it, and I didn't know what was going on. The thing just fell. I had no idea it even fell on her foot. So the woman came, she running, oh my God, are you okay? And my wife's like, yeah, I'm fine, But it didn't really hit her yet. She turned around, the woman walked away, and then my wife kind of walked off into the aisle, and I kind of chased after her because she was walking fast, and I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, that really hurt. And she started crying. I'm like, Jesus. And she's like, I can't move, my foot is really hurting. So I told her, I'm like, why don't you go fill out an incident report, That's a big deal. That's negligent. The thing wasn't strapped up properly. It fell. It hurt my wife's toe, Now, let me just say this right now. My family and me, we have, I feel, good scruples, and we just don't sue people. Why? Because we just don't do that. I can't really give you a good answer. It's not that, certain lawsuits should happen, but we're just not those people to just go ahead and cash in on an accident. You know what I mean? That's not us. We've had multiple times in my lifetime, I could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. We had the rich family that when the kid pushed me and I tripped and I broke my teeth in the school, could have got, who knows, $1 million from that family. Then I went to the big, the Derby at the fair, and I got hit in the face with the friggin' metal. I talked about this stuff in my other Storytime videos. I probably got a couple $1,000s for that, you know. I fell in a ShopRite once because the floor was wet. You know, hurt my leg really bad. Didn't break or anything, but could have got thousands for that. I've had a lot of things happen in my life where I could have sued many people, but I didn't because I just don't do that. You know, accidents happen, people get hurt sometimes, yeah. But anyway, the point here is, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, damn, I bet we could sue Walmart, make a lot of money because she was really messed up. But I talk with her about it, and she's like, you know, it really hurts, but I don't know. I don't think it's broken. Plus, if your toe is broken, there's nothing to do for you. You know what I mean? It's just, look, I broke my toe. I went to the hospital. I paid the hospital bill and everything. What did I get out of it? Nothing. They told me, hey, oh well, you know, your toe's broken. There's nothing you can do about it. So, but I didn't realize how serious this was, and we're walking around the store, and now she's starting to hobble. She can't really walk right because she's in so much pain. So I'm like, why don't you take your shoe, go in the, you know, dressing room, take your shoe off, you know, see how bad it is, you know, because she thought maybe she was bleeding. I mean, it's a heavy thing. It fell straight onto her toe. She can't, you know, and of course my wife's cool in that, like, she's not making a big deal. I could tell she's really in pain, and it's pissing me off because now, like, I'm starting to get mad at Walmart's negligence of the idiot who put it on the wall, didn't strap it in right, you know. I mean, if there was a little kid could have got hit in the head with it, could have got pretty messed up, or some old person, you know, could have really hurt him. But anyway, my wife's kind of playing it down, right? So the whole time I'm kind of making jokes. I'm like, come on, file a report. We'll make $1 million from Walmart. The Waltons, they'll love to give us a couple $100,000 just to be quiet, you know. But we're just laughing about it. She's not really serious, and I'm not serious either. So, but at this point, she's really kind of hobbling around. She's having a hard time walking. So we ended up leaving. Right? We got home. She takes her shoe off. Her freaking toe is like purple. The whole thing is bruised up and messed up. I mean, it wasn't cut, but it was fucking smashed. I'm sorry for saying that, but that's how I felt when I saw it. I thought, holy shit, that's fucking smashed. And she's like, oh my God. So she put some ice on and stuff. It still hurts her. You know, today I'm filming this on, it's Saturday today, and it's still hurting her 2 days later. Is it broken? I don't know. I'm not going to go, she agrees with me. We're not going to go to the hospital and pay a bunch of money because we don't have insurance. We're not going to pay a bunch of money just to find out there's nothing she could do for it. It hurts. Eventually it won't hurt. So my wife's a tough cookie, and her pain tolerance is pretty high. If it was me, I might have made a big deal about it and filed a report and everything. So at least if we did eventually have to go to the hospital or something, they can maybe, you know, fork over the money for the bills. But I thought that was messed up, man. But, you know, the reason I'm telling you this is because it's a character thing, you know. If you're one of those people that just jump to sue everyone for this, that, you know, like the most stupidest things, it's not cool. Not cool. Our society, it's just a lot of people do that, you know. And of course, there's scam artists that do, you know, they get hurt on purpose so they can try to make money off of it. It hurts everyone. It hurts insurance companies, and in return, your rates go higher. And it's the same thing with accidents. There's a bunch of people driving around with no car insurance, and what happens? You know, they get to an accident, and who pays for it? The people paying the bills, the people who are good, who actually have insurance. It's like everything else in life. The good people who are trying to do the good thing and do the right thing in life, you're penalized for all the idiots, is what happens. So, yeah, I'm not saying that if you get hurt at Walmart, you shouldn't sue them. Most people probably would, but it's just not how we roll. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but that was a big part of our day, so I thought I'd throw that in my story. I felt so bad because my wife, she's got this messed up toe. I'm talking about today going to work. You know, her toe's messed up and her mouth is still sore from all of her work, and you know, she's such a trooper. She went to work and she didn't call out of work. She just doesn't call out. You know, she said, like, I can hobble around a little bit. I can limp around, and you know, my mouth hurts, but it could be worse. You know, she's got such a great attitude, and I'm influenced by it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd be in the same position. I probably would have called out of work. I say, hey, screw you. I'm all messed up. See you tomorrow. You know. But she's cool. She's a trooper, so God bless her. She's working right now. When I see her home later, I'll treat her something special. But anyway, that is my story, my Black Friday story, and my Dirty Thursday story for Thanksgiving. Oh boy, there's always something going on, you know. I joke around with my dad too. It's Smith luck, and never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Every day seems to be some kind of adventure with my family, you know. Always something going on. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the story time video. Hope it's not too long. I don't have a timer on my camera, and I never look to see how long the videos are. They just are what they are. But I'm done talking. No more stories for now. Hope you enjoyed it. And please feel free to tell me all about your experience. If you happen to go to Black Friday, did you buy something you really enjoyed? You know, and I'm really curious about those cheap TVs they sell on Black Friday. If you got one last year or the previous year or whatever, how's it holding up? Does it still work after all this time? You know, or is it really a piece of crap? And that's why it's so cheap. I don't know. I'm just kind of leaning towards the fact that they're just super, super cheap quality, and that's why they can do the prices they can do, you know? But anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.